Okay, so let's get on to the next segment, helplines, phone lines. It's a very important part of the service that we give in Narcotics Anonymous. It is the first point of contact for most people who want to know about NAs. They call up the helpline. Most areas have helpline numbers. We are very proud to have a young rising member from Bali, who is the helpline chair at the moment in Bali. And you saw those videos we showed in the beginning, which are the PSAs. And once we launched them in Bali, we got a lot of calls. And Yoshi was on the phone all day, all whatever, answering, telling people to come to a meeting. So Yoshi, if you could share for 5 minutes what it's been like for you handling that service position.
Hi everyone, I'm Yoshi. I'm an addict.
Yoshi.
Okay.
Yoshi.
Thanks everyone for being here. I'm just grateful to be able to share my experience as chair position, chair servant for the Phonelines, Narcotic Anonymous Bali area. Yeah. Well, I start doing the service. Well, I start committing to the service when the PSA was about to launch. Before, in Bali area, we used to have 2 phone lines number. There's international meetings, and there's for the Bahasa meeting. But due to the PSA, we put the unity strength together, so we just use 1 phone line number, and that's the one that I'm holding at the moment. Yeah, I'm holding this position because chairing phone lines is my first service actually when I was still in Jakarta. But when I was chairing for the phone lines in Bali, it's totally different situation because Bali, we have 3 major, well, not major, like 3 big communities. There's English speaking communities, and there's Russian speaking communities, and then Bahasa or the locals speaking community. And that's something that's really different. Like you want someone that actually can speak English in order to accommodate the call. When we start to launch the PSA, the public service announcement, I'll be getting like 10 to 15 calls every day. But due to the pandemic, I only can refer them to an online meeting because there's no physical meetings in Indonesia. But this is the I don't know how to say this, like a tricky part, because in order to send them the link for the online meetings, I need to get the numbers. I think the interesting part is to get their trust to give their phone numbers to us, because we just know them through a phone line. Well, you need to represent yourself as an NA trusted servant, because you'll be carrying NA name, you'll be representing NA name. It's not representing yourself. So yeah, I tried. Well, I'll try using the softest language as I can in order for them to be able to give me their number, so I can send them the Zoom link, because it's a lot. Well, you can't give Zoom link without passing through message or through WhatsApp. So that, I think that's the interesting part, I think, when I was doing this. Yeah, I think that's about it. for the PSA in Bali. Oh yeah, I normally limit myself like during office hours. So it's normally 9 to 5. So after 5 p.m. I normally don't take any calls, and I don't switch off the phone. It because it's a mobile number, so it have the capability of WhatsApp. So normally, because we don't announce it, it have WhatsApp number. But normally they just, I don't know, they just send the message through WhatsApp. But we don't announce it. Yeah, we don't announce it to them that it have a capability of WhatsApp. Yeah, I'm not holding the phone line much more longer, because in Bali we have a certain period of time for someone to hold the phone service for the phone lines. Normally you are able to do the volunteer service like 30 to 60 days, but due to the pandemic we haven't got the chance to meet up with the area meeting, so I'm still holding it at the moment. But yeah, there's a certain time period for in Bali area for someone to be able to volunteer for the phone service. Yeah, I think that's about it that I can share. I hope it's helpful. Thank you guys for listening.
Thanks so much, man. That was beautiful.
You, Yoshi.
Thank you, Yoshi. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you, Yoshi.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, it's not easy, believe me, when you get many calls. So thank you, Yoshi, for your service, and thank you for being there. Okay, so yeah, sure.
Sorry, Amitabh. I'm using cell phones at the moment because you sent me the frequently asked question through my email. This is help for us that doing the volunteer for online. We are using the same as well. When we start the PSA, we start like a small committee in the WhatsApp group. So we have a discussion about how we do the phone lines, and this is exactly the same that the one that you sent me. Probably all the other brothers and sisters here that doing the service, you can send it as well, because we get this from Wilman. At that time, Wilman was getting it from, I think, from North Atlanta NA.Org. This is what we are using as well. So there's for potential members, and there's for loved ones, and there's from community members, and from families, I think. Yeah. And the interesting part is another interesting part is you might get how do I say this? Is it prank call? Not prank call. I mean, like there's someone offering you to loan money, and you know there's kind of that kind of call. But well, that's part of the service. The ones that I can feel the most. I mean, like in NA, we know that we only can keep what we have by giving it away. Like from members that actually would like to come to an NA meeting. When I first start the service, if I can share this a little bit, it's difficult for me to find an NA, and I think that's my personal reason why I'm willing to do the service as a online chair, because it's really hard when I was in Jakarta. I need to, like, I don't know, I was calling person to person, and someone might knows, and finally I ending up in the home group that is in the red area zone, that in the small kindergarten place that holds an NA meeting, and it's really difficult. But that's why I'm willing to do the online service, because, well, I think, like you said, it's the tip of the spear. I mean, like when you get a potential member, like the whole purpose of the whole objective of the Phonelines is to get the prospective newcomers to be able to attend an NA meeting. So yeah, and that's a great feeling. I mean, like, if I can share this, it's just a great feeling. Thank you.
Thanks, Yoshi. Okay,
Thank
before we
you,
go on,
Yoshi.
Peter, you had a question?
Not a question so much. It's in Australia we are using a system called through Twilio, and I'll put the name in the chat screen. But what it does, which I've just heard that there's a problem of being able to send information to a caller. With the Twilio service, it's a text message. So I can send a text to that service with my postcode or zip code or the name of the city I live in, and I will immediately get back a list of meetings in my locale, my location, by text message. I know that in countries where you have, you know, a lot more meetings than we do in Australia, it might be a little bit busy, but it may be worth looking into. I'll just put the name of the company in the chat room, and you can have a look. Anyone who's interested could have a look. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.